Greetings and salutations, fine people. I'm Patti Alvarez. Welcome to The Good Soul, a show where we'll have supercharged chats with everyday humans from all walks of life and unpack what in their story will inspire us all. We'll extract the untapped wisdom, distill it, and serve it up to you in all the right ways that will engage, enlighten, and most of all, inspire growth within your soul. I think people are awesome. So join me on this journey through the hearts and minds of ordinary people to uncover the good soul within you. This is The Good Soul. Welcome everybody to The Good Soul. We are on episode 54. It's titled Unlock Your Health with 3x4 Genetics. And I am here with the lovely, beautiful, talented, and sweet Kimberly Flebbe. Welcome, Kim.
Thank you. I am so excited to be here.
I am really excited for this episode.
Mm-hmm.
So Kim has been on the show before. She is also a show sponsor, which is like really big. We didn't even talk about that pre-show. She's a show sponsor. And her title would be Integrative Health Practitioner.
Yes.
She works out of Mooresville, but she is worldwide. She has clients from all over the country at this point. So I think that's really exciting. So I want to sink right into this, just kind of give a little brief summary of what we're in for. So I took this 3x4 genetic test about a month ago, 3 weeks a month ago, where we had to kind of scrape the inside.
Just a little saliva swab.
Yes. Mailed it off. And basically what we're going to do is understand basically on a cellular level by way of my DNA who I am. So all of this is completely new to me, just as it is to you guys. I got no information. So this is really exciting. So, okay. So get excited, and all of this, obviously, you will have access to, and we'll explain to you where to find Kim at the end of the show. But Kim, tell me first real quickly a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and what got you into this field.
Yeah, so originally from California, moved here when I was 16.
Where in California, because it matters?
Santa Rosa, Northern California, and then lived in Fresno till I was 16.
Okay.
And then my dad was involved with NASCAR, and then that brought us out here when I was 16 years old, mid-high school, and have been here ever since. Never went back, obviously outside visits. But I got into the health space because of my own health journey. After I had my third child, things just took a dramatic downward spiral.
What age was that?
What age was that? 36? No, 35.
Okay.
Yeah, 35. And so no doctors could figure out what was going on with me. My blood work was fine. I had gone to the ER a few times. CT scans were fine. It was just, I just kept getting answers like, well, you just are sleep deprived. You must have anxiety because you have 3 kids now. Take this for that. And I was like, but I wasn't comfortable with that.
Could you get a little bit more specific on what your symptoms were so we can all relate?
Yes. I mean, extreme fatigue, like not able to get out of bed. I mean, like pushing like hour by hour. Gastrointestinal issues, insomnia, not sleeping at all, not able to fall asleep, stay asleep. Neurological symptoms. I was getting tingling on one side of my face and my body, which sent me to the ER room because I thought stroke and all of that kind of stuff, which turned out to be not, which was great. But then it's like, well, what's wrong with me? Like, what's going on?
How did you manage, Kim? As your mother is obviously local. Like, how did you manage with 3 young kids?
I just managed myself.
You just managed yourself.
Yeah. My family really didn't know how bad it was.
Yeah.
I'm not really one to like seek out for help or, but.
And we hide it well.
And just try to push through, which was, ruining me. But
did your husband notice?
He did, but he didn't notice. He didn't realize how bad it was either.
Okay. So
it was really something, I mean, he knew, but probably because I wasn't acting right, but but, you went to your doctor and everything was fine. You did all this blood work, you did all your tests, and you're fine. But I wasn't fine. So it wasn't until I seeked out functional medicine and integrative health that I found the root cause of what was happening. My minerals and vitamins, I was below deficient on so many levels. And they didn't test for any of that.
Okay. That's what I was asking you. So the integrative doctor basically ran like your panel is what they call it.
Yeah, I mean, we do at-home functional lab tests, so I didn't go to a doctor. I had all the tests shipped to me.
Okay.
The things they were testing for, they would not test for in your panel.
Okay.
So, and then my gut was a wreck. I had bacteria overgrowth. There was just a lot of stuff going on in there. Mineral imbalance, vitamin deficiencies, toxicities, my sleep routine was completely off because of the toxicities and the deficiencies. So it was like everything had a domino effect.
Yeah.
One thing affected another. And it wasn't until I rebalanced my body that I got my health back, my energy back, my sleep back. I got me back. It was kind of an out-of-body experience because looking back at how I felt then really scares me.
Yeah.
I don't even know how I got through 2 years of my life that I was doing that. Really.
Yeah. It's interesting to not to make this about me, but I've been really struggling tremendously with fatigue and soreness and melancholy.
Yeah.
And I certainly I'm attributing it. This is why I'm so excited for today and what I'm going to learn about myself. Gut health, menopause, what is it, and what's going on in my body. Hopefully you have all the answers in the report over there.
Got a lot of good stuff over here.
Yeah. I'm really grateful that we're doing this today, and I thank you, and I'm sure that a lot of our viewers can relate.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about the 3X4 genetic testing.
So 3X4 genetics is, like we said, a simple swab test you do. I just want to mention it does not diagnose or treat or any of that stuff. This is all purely educational purposes, but it does tell us what our bodies are predisposed to. What's our predisposition from a genetic standpoint?
Okay.
So you've heard people say, well, my dad has high blood pressure, so I'm going to have high blood pressure or cholesterol, or, my mom was overweight, so I'm going to be overweight, or whatever that is. So that might be what you're predisposed to genetically, but that is not what pulls the trigger.
Okay.
So the exciting thing when you learn about your genetics and what you're predisposed to, the exciting thing is you can change the outcome. It doesn't have to be the high blood pressure or the cholesterol or the overweight. You now know how to work with your body on a genetic standpoint to optimize your health.
Okay. Is that through diet, supplements?
Yeah, all of the above. Yeah, all the above. We would do diet, lifestyle recommendations. If there was supplements that needed to be put in there, then we would recommend that.
Are you going to tell me all this today?
I'm going to tell you a lot today. Yeah.
Yay. I'm so excited.
It's pretty in-depth. So, it can get, really extensive. But we're going to keep it to the top 3 today.
Okay.
That's what we're doing.
We have 1 minute left.
Okay.
How does this test differentiate from competing or similar
Others?
tests? Yeah.
A lot of people have probably heard of genetic testing and maybe like the MTHFR gene or certain things that have been floating around the health space. So a lot of genetic tests will test just a few handfuls of genetic variants.
Okay.
Where this one tests over 160.
Okay.
And then what it does is it puts it in certain pathways. So cellular pathways, detoxification, oxidative stress, different things like that. It will look at how does your body respond to exercise, weight loss, energy, cholesterol, blood pressure, all of this.
Wow.
Nutrients.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
All right. So we're going to hit pause. We're going to wrap up our first segment. Guys, I'm on the edge of my seat here. I cannot wait to keep moving along. So thank you for being here. Don't go away. We'll be back in just a few on The Good Soul. This segment of The Good Soul is brought to you by Erin Fisnick, certified luxury home specialist with Ivester Jackson Christie's International Real Estate. Erin serves all levels of the greater Lake Norman region real estate market, and whether buying or selling, she is very much the lady who will deliver like no other. Many of us at Good Soul are also really happy clients. Erin can be reached at 704-728-5657 or reach out to me and I'll get you guys connected. Thank you, Erin Fisnick, and thank you guys for tuning in and supporting The Good Soul. Welcome back, everybody, to The Good Soul. I'm Patti Alvarez, and I'm here with Kimberly Flebbe. Kimberly Flebbe is, I'm going to get this right, an integrative health practitioner, and we are talking 3x4 genetic testing. I took the test about 3 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. She gave the history, so rewind to segment 1 if you missed that part. Otherwise, let's talk about me.
Yes,
but one question, is this testing similar to like what Angelina Jolie got and what forced her to do? I think it was for
breast cancer.
Yeah.
No, so this
I think she did her down.
Oh, hysterectomy.
Yeah, hysterectomy.
Okay, to prevent.
Yeah, I guess.
So they test those tests for high penetrance genes, which is like for breast cancer and things like that. These are considered low penetrance genes.
Okay.
So these affect things just your everyday, methylation in your cells, energy, sleep, all of that stuff. Okay. So this isn't going to say you're more at risk for cancer or for any of those types of things.
Yeah.
Although this does play a role.
Yeah.
Because when you look at inflammation, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So
you're not going to tell me anything scary.
No.
Like, Patti, go get your boobs
this
taken off.
No.
Nothing like that.
No.
Okay.
No. Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm excited. Okay.
Me too.
So one of the exciting things about 3x4 genetics, like I said in the first segment, is that it puts it into pathways. So we look at the top 3 pathways that are going to impact your health the most. There's 36 different pathways. So we're going to focus on the top 3.
Okay.
And for you, that is cellular. So cellular health. So if we think about cellular health, mm-hmm. if our cells are not functioning properly, mm-hmm. nothing else can.
Yeah.
Right?
That's all we are is cells.
Right. So in the cellular pathway, we have inflammation. So these are your top 3 that we're going to dive a little bit deeper into. Okay. Inflammation, oxidative stress, and methylation. Okay. And then I have a few more I'm going to add just because I have a few tidbits to add in there. Okay. But we all know what inflammation is, mm-hmm. right? I mean, for the most part.
For the people, though, so if somebody doesn't in the audience know, like, what does that exactly mean when people say, I'm inflamed?
Right. So, I mean, inflammation is a normal response. You think about if you cut your hand, if you sprain your ankle, right? Mm-hmm. When it swells up, that's an inflammatory response, mm-hmm. which is healthy. So is
it blood right. kind of...
Or, you cut your hand, you're automatically your body's going to try to heal. That's an inflammatory response.
Right.
So
like swelling, is that blood kind of like...
Right, rushing to the site to help heal.
And that's why we get a bump.
Right.
Okay.
But unmanaged inflammation... And you can have inflammation in your gut, in your arteries, different areas like your joints, right? When you mm-hmm. think of arthritis, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But unmanaged and unchecked inflammation can cause damage to our cells. So we look at things like on blood work, your C-reactive protein, your homocysteine levels, your uric acid levels. Mm-hmm. Those are all good markers to check for inflammation in your body.
Okay, and I'll have a better understanding of terms such as what you described, the more I learn about myself.
Yeah. So inflammation is high impact for you on a genetic level. Okay. So right out of the gate,
I'm highly inflamed.
You are prone to more chronic inflammation.
Okay. Can you see what my inflammation is by way of this report or no?
So it doesn't tell me. So that's where the blood work would come in.
Okay.
But having inflammatory markers checked on a regular basis would be really, really good for you. Okay. Because right out of the gate, your body is prone to chronic inflammation.
Okay. And you're going to give me my homework assignments.
I am going to give you homework assignments, yeah. But so when we talk about inflammation, right, and I'll just give you an example, like I said, the C-reactive protein. That's something that you can get tested on blood work. That is a marker that checks for inflammation in your body. We want to see that low. But we also have the FAD-S1 gene, which plays a role in fatty acid metabolism.
Okay.
So you've heard of omega-3, omega-6,
sure, of course.
Right? So our omega-3 is our anti-inflammatory, our omega-6 is our inflammatory. So from a genetic perspective, if you are on a more omega-6 dominant diet, your body is going to promote more arachidonic acid, which is inflammatory omega-6.
What foods are rich in omega-6?
I mean, any processed food, you know, like it's all, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So, you know, the processed foods, the high sugar,
fatty,
the candy, the sodas, the, you know, all of that stuff is inflammatory.
Okay. I want to quickly just tell everybody too, when you had come to me, even kind of in conjunction with the swab of my mouth, is you had asked me what my issues were. And as you explained to me during show prep, my major issues were fatigue, inflammation, and mood. Right?
Fatigue, soreness, sleeping through the night, and stress.
Yeah. Yeah. So just to be clear, everybody, which I'm sure most of you can relate, men and women.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
but inflammation can affect all of that. Especially sleep and soreness. So if we're not being proactive, you know, by anti-inflammatory diet, maybe taking an omega-3 to help with that omega-3/6 ratio, you know, stress techniques. You know, we know you do yoga and all that, which is all great, but we also need to take a proactive approach from a dietary standpoint.
Understood.
Sleep as well. So if you're not sleeping, your body's not able to reduce inflammation either.
Yeah.
But inflammation can interrupt sleep.
Yeah.
So
it's funny. I was just thinking for some reason when I was in the shower before, I'm like, the dogs really shouldn't be sleeping on the bed with us.
Oh,
I'm not sleeping through. I'm
Yeah.
not sleeping well. I mean,
Yeah.
they go into an equal sign and I'm up all night. Like, move.
Yeah. And sleep is so important on so many levels, but
It's too late now. You got these dogs on the bed.
Okay, I know.
you got to get them off. Yeah.
Right.
But so from a genetic standpoint, your body is more prone to inflammation just right out of the gate.
Okay.
So we need to be heavily proactive on the anti-inflammatory side of things, maybe including some different, you know, eating like cruciferous vegetables is going to be a big one for you. I don't know how much that plays a role in your diet today or right now.
Not enough.
Or we can supplement with like sulforaphane, which is like you're eating a cup of broccoli sprouts a day, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So different things like that. Some other recommendations for, you know, someone that's high in inflammation is you trying to avoid inflammatory triggers, which is not easy to do all the time, but just knowing that your body is automatically prone to inflammation, you're going to be more mindful about the toxins, the, you know, detoxification, eating more of a whole food, plant-based type diet, eliminating, you know, more of the processed stuff. So
we can go over that together.
Yeah.
Exactly what about 3 weeks ago, I like took a trip to Aldi and I really clamped down. I'm like, nothing is going in my body unless it's good or excellent on the Yuka app. Nothing.
Yeah.
So I stopped eating Oreos. Dark chocolate Oreos were like my guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
So no more Oreos. So that
2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I know, in the middle of the night.
When the dogs were waking you up.
While the dogs are waking me up and the TV's blasting and my like, you know, not blasting, but you know, the flashing lights in my eyes and
You get up at 2 o'clock, if nothing's on, you stayed up. Boom.
I would sit up and eat my 2 Oreos,
No, there's no hesitation.
They're so delicious in the middle of the night.
She sits up.
And not that you can't ever have them, but, you know.
Yeah.
Moderation.
I know. Moderation.
It's okay.
I know.
Just like with anything, you know, too much of a good thing is not good, and too much of bad is not good. So, you know, you got to have that balance. But just knowing that your body is more prone to that now, you're going to be more mindful of.
Oh my God, that's the most important thing. And I am a very good dog. So if you tell me like eat that, I'm good at setting it up so they're available
we're gonna
to me.
Give that, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So let's keep moving. What else?
So the next pathway that is high impact for you is oxidative stress. And so oxidative stress. Yeah. So oxidative stress and inflammation can kind of go in this vicious cycle because inflammation can cause oxidative stress and oxidative stress can cause inflammation.
What is oxidative stress?
Oxidative stress is, so the genes in this test look for think of rusting.
Okay.
It's like the human rusting.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
It's like at your cells rusting, basically.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
So if you think of an apple, or any fruit or vegetable, right? You take a bite, it starts to oxidize, right? And just breathing, we're creating oxidative stress in our body. Wow. So what this pathway does and the genes that it tests for is what is our body's ability to, we call a rust block.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Absolutely.
So what is your ability to block the oxidation that is happening inside your cell?
What determines that?
Certain genes. Yeah. Okay. Certain genes can determine your ability to produce these antioxidants enzymes that block the oxidation process in your cells.
Okay. So poor oxidative, I guess, defenses.
Yeah.
What are the symptoms of that?
Right. I mean,
what I'm experiencing.
I mean, fatigue, not sleeping. I mean, it can cause hormone disruption. Just again, because oxidative stress can cause that inflammation. Inflammation can cause oxidative stress. So if your body not only is inflamed but not able to block the resting of the cells, it's going to create all kinds of chaos in the body. Oh God. But
all right. Oh Lord.
But this is something we can be proactive about.
Okay, let's hold our thought.
Okay.
We're going to wrap up segment 2, and we are going to pick up on my oxidative stress and how we can be proactive on segment 3 on episode 54 of The Good Soul, guys. Thank you for being here. Don't go away. We'll see you in a few. Hey there, busy women in your 30s, 40s, and 50s. This is for you. If you've been struggling with fatigue, stubborn weight gain, restless nights, or gut issues that just won't quit, it's time to stop guessing and start healing. Kimberly is an integrative health practitioner and helps women uncover the root causes of their health challenges so they can feel energized, balanced, and truly alive again. Let's get to the bottom of what's holding you back. Book your free health strategy call today at KimberlyFlebbe.com because you deserve to feel amazing every day. Welcome back, everybody, to The Good Soul. We're on episode 54, and we are talking 3X4 genetics, and we're talking about my test results. So I took this test, and we are looking at my 3 most prominent pathways based on the test results we got from 3X4. Kim went through my first being my most prominent pathways to health and wellness, of course.
Yeah.
Based on my DNA would be inflammation being the first. Now we're talking oxidative stress, and then we'll move on to the third once we finish oxidative stress. So let's keep moving.
Yeah. So another thing with oxidative stress is you have some genetic variants that make phase 2 detoxification very sluggish. So when you come in contact with toxins, which we do all the time, I mean, just walking outside, right?
Sure.
But how does your body eliminate them? What is your body's capacity to move them through and finally eliminate them? So you have a phase 2 detoxification. It's just a little more sluggish. So you're, we have, but the bright side is we can fix that.
We can fix it.
So now knowing that, we can change directions.
How many phases are there?
3.
So I'm in the middle.
Yeah.
I'm not the
so
worst.
It's kind of like things are getting bottlenecked. Well, there's 3 phases of detoxification.
Yeah.
So your phase 2 right in the middle is a little sluggish.
Oh,
from a genetic perspective.
Okay.
Yeah, which causes oxidative stress because if you have toxins that aren't being able to be cleared, it's floating around in your body, which is causing the resting effect, and then your body's not able to have that resting block.
Okay, which is why I'm sore, tired, cranky, sad, and can't sleep.
Yes, definitely. Okay.
Make a note of that, everybody.
And so some things we can do if we have a high oxidative stress pathway is anti-inflammatory diet, making sure you're getting 1 to 2. Then I like to do food first, but I also add in supplementation. But I'm a food first type of person because you can't out-supplement
nature.
Bad food, a bad diet. No, you can't out-supplement eating garbage.
No, you can't. You can't. But, your dark leafy greens, 1 to 2 cups. We want to eat foods rich in zinc, copper, selenium, manganese. I would recommend doing a multi-mineral, multivitamin that has all of that stuff in there on a daily basis. I mean, because we're all human, right? So we're not all going to eat all of that every day.
Yeah.
But just making sure you get those nutrients in your body so the oxidative stress can be
facilitated and empowered.
Yeah.
Do you provide all of these supplements through your practice?
Yes.
Yay.
I only use certain ones.
Okay.
Because not all are created equal.
Yeah, good. There's good ones and bad ones.
Sometimes they can be toxic. So
okay.
Got to be careful.
Right
Yeah. And so the other thing too with oxidative stress is being aware of extensive endurance and like HIIT workouts and things like that. Your body needs more recovery.
Okay.
Which I found very fascinating.
Yeah.
When I started looking at these reports, which we can get into, but just how does your body react to workouts? And, you hear people say, at least I've heard people say all the time, I'm trying to lose weight. I'm eating right. I'm doing all the right things. I'm working out 6 days a week. Is that right for your body?
Well, that was me in COVID. That was me pre my weight loss. That everybody around me, like Molly, Jane, Cindy, they're like, how are you not 105 pounds? Like all you do is work out, eat, you eat well.
Yeah.
And I was not 105 pounds.
Yeah. And, and one of the things on your test is working out does not affect weight loss for you.
Isn't that funny? And I own a yoga studio.
I mean, but it promotes obviously stress reduction.
It reduces inflammation.
All that stuff. It's
honestly, at this point, weight loss is not that's not at the top of my list of priorities. So I'm happy with my weight, and I'm maintaining my weight. So I'm good with that.
But just it's just interesting to know that now, right? Because because what it is doing, or what those workouts could do for you from a genetic perspective, is cause more oxidative stress, more inflammation.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know that I'd include yoga in that though.
No.
So you're talking about elevating your heart rate.
I mean, and elevating heart rate is good, but like the HIIT workouts all the time, right? Yeah. Like your body needs at least 2 days in between workouts like that.
Yeah, Bill, we're going to have to cut that. Okay, just kidding. I'm only kidding. I'm joking. I own a yoga studio when we do HIIT workouts.
And they're great.
Yeah, they are
and
great.
They're great.
No, I know, I'm joking.
Just not doing it all the time.
Yeah.
Well, and it depends on who you are, because some people they do, some people they do work for.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
So from a genetic perspective, though, not for you per se.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And if you do those types of workouts, though, you need to allow your body enough recovery time before you do another one, and making sure that you're sleeping right through the night and getting restful sleep, because that helps with the oxidative stress and the inflammation and all that kind of stuff.
Wow. Oh my God. Eureka, man.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
And so just being aware of that, just, with oxidative stress, stress management is going to be huge. So your yoga, right? The deep breathing, the getting outside, grounding, getting sunlight first thing in the morning.
Grounding meaning putting my feet on the earth.
Connect to the earth.
We've talked about this for you.
Oh, it's amazing.
Earthing.
Yeah.
Earthing. So I came home from the house to the house about maybe 3 weeks ago, and the dog was sunbathing like dogs do, like staring up at the sun. So I immediately Google, does vitamin D come through the window? And Google said no, the UV rays are blocked through the glass.
Right.
So it was probably 40 degrees out. I'm like, I don't give a shiza.
Yeah.
I'm opening the door and I'm lying down with the dog, and it was like I heard angels sing.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Having the sun hit me, where I really was thinking about it, and I really needed.
That's what the dogs do every morning.
So you're telling me that is not a surprise? You would tell me that's not a surprise to you based on my test results? That vitamin D.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, proactive in the stress reduction techniques is going to be huge for you. So that. Sitting outside or laying
all the time.
Yeah.
You don't get out.
I don't get a lot of sunlight. I really don't. I know. I have to start opening. I can even open this door right here. I mean, this is my office when we're not shooting the show.
Have to. Yeah, you have to get outside. If you can do that first thing in the morning, I mean, it sets your whole day. Yeah. And your daytime sets up for your sleep too. So if you're not getting outside during the day, if you're not getting that sunlight, if you're not, I mean, we are meant to be in nature.
Yeah.
So
we have to start doing our walk every day.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. We're doing a walk every day.
That is on the list.
Yeah.
That is on the to-do.
Okay, so
there's no excuse for us. I mean, we got a beautiful path,
we live in a beautiful neighborhood. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. So we have about 2 minutes left in this segment.
Okay.
So,
all right. So I'm going to hit, I'm going to, so that was it for oxidative stress. So the other pathway that's high, which this affects a lot. So is methylation.
Okay. I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what methylation
I'm going
is?
to tell you. Yeah. So it's a biochemical process that happens in our cells, each and every single cell. So it's pretty important. But if our methylation is not only responsible for DNA repair, it's also responsible for our energy, our sleep, our detoxification.
Mm-hmm.
All of these processes in our body require methylation. So if our methylation is not functioning properly, we can start to have the no sleeping, the lack of energy,
the muscle
the poor detoxification, which can lead to soreness and all of that kind of stuff. So one of the things for methylation for you, a lot of people have heard about the MTHFR gene. So basically what that means is how does your body utilize folate, convert it into the usable form.
Okay.
Right? So everything we take into our body has to be converted.
Okay.
Okay. So with the MTHFR gene, what's really prominent here is B vitamins.
Okay.
This relates to energy, like again, energy, sleep, everything in every single cell in our body.
And this is where blood work will probably come in and be useful for me too.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
But knowing that, and the MTHFR gene was one of the more prominent ones that we test for in this pathway. But for you specifically, you have a 70% reduction of enzyme activity in that methylation process. So your methylation is not functioning.
Okay. So and methylation is what's transforming things in our body?
Yes, converting.
That's converting.
Right.
Okay.
So you think of like,
my God.
Right. Yeah.
Jeez.
So thinking of, you don't put crude oil into your car and expect it to run, right? We got to convert that to gas.
Yeah.
For energy.
we literally feel like Squidward over here. Listen, we have to wrap up the third segment. I need a beat, you guys. I can't wait to fix all this. Guys, we will see you in just a few for segment 4 on The Good Soul. Don't go away. Thank you so much, Kim. This is great. Yes. Really. All right. See you in a few. Who isn't looking to get happy and healthy and empower themselves in an extraordinary fitness community? At Good Soul Hot Yoga, we offer life-changing yoga, strength training, cycling, and relaxing therapeutic classes that will make everything in your life feel better. For some power, balance, and peace of mind, we will deliver. Come experience our spa-like wonderland in the center of Mooresville. We will become your happy place. Welcome back, everybody, to The Good Soul, episode 54. Oy, oy, oy. We're talking 3X4 genetics. We went through my 3 pathways: inflammation,
oxidative stress,
and now we're on methylation, which is our body's function in converting.
Ability to convert materials into the usable form.
Okay.
And that affects sleep, energy, detoxification, basically every cellular function in the body requires methylation. So if we're not methylating properly, then we're going to start to have symptoms of different things going on. It also can affect hormones too.
Okay.
So, a lot of people or women, it's like, I have this hormone imbalance, and then they try to fix that, whether it be, getting on HRTs or whatever that is. Mm-hmm. But upstream from that is methylation. So I always like to look at, how are you methylating? Are you methylating proproperly?
Well, I'm not methylating properly, clearly.
Which can affect
I'm not methylating.
Yeah, how are you
Okay, so then tell me, how does this all tie into gut health?
All the genetics?
Everything.
Yeah,
all of this.
Because oxidative stress, inflammation, that right there can cause leaky gut.
Okay.
So if we're not managing, and being proactive on that aspect, it can also cause, inflammation, oxidative stress can cause cardiovascular situations.
Yeah.
At the root of everything, I believe, is inflammation.
Yes.
So starting at the root, and then
Okay.
you'll have your domino effect, right? Reducing your stress, reducing your toxins, getting out and getting that vitamin D, eating a antioxidant-rich diet, including some of your essential vitamins and minerals that you need for that methylation cycle to work.
Right.
And the beautiful thing is we can test, what does your body need uniquely? What's your need for the different B vitamins? Because it's not just about the B12 that most people hear about, or the folate. There's other B vitamins out there that are, and other, zinc, selenium, and magnesium that are important for the methylation cycle to work.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. We didn't get into that. Like,
Yes.
what should I, and I'm sorry because I skipped to gut health, but what would somebody want to do or eat or take in
to be
supplements?
proactive So I would recommend everyone taking a methylated vitamin. And what that means is that the vitamin is already in its usable form.
Okay.
So your body doesn't have to do that converting process. You almost like bypass the converting process, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And a methylated B vitamin, making sure you're getting selenium. You can get that from Brazil nuts. 2 a day is great.
Okay.
Your magnesium, 90% of America is deficient in magnesium, and that is responsible for hundreds of processes in the body.
I used to take it before bed and then I stopped.
Yeah,
you have a prescription for me,
I
right?
do.
You
I
do.
have
okay.
a few things.
Are we going to
we're
go
gonna work
over
on.
this on the air, or do you want to go over it separate?
Is it better taking prescriptions in the morning or
Vitamins in the morning?
It just depends. I don't like to overload, but I also don't like to have people taking 50 a day either.
Yeah.
So, there's a time and a place. You might need to take more than you want to for a period of time just to get your body, whether it be sleeping better, more energy, right? To get your circadian rhythm back. But once you get to that point, it's really just about maintenance.
Yeah.
And then
we've been doing apple cider vinegar and lemon water, and I'm assuming that's something that you would be advocating for.
I'm a big fan of lemon water first thing in the morning.
Yeah. Well, that's
Very
I know
first
Manny
thing.
was doing it at night. I kept saying, no, you're supposed to. Okay. But why first thing in the morning?
Flushes.
It flushes
Yep.
you. Okay. So
because if you
morning
think
is
about,
important.
when you're sleeping, your body is It's detoxing when you sleep. And so first thing in the morning, we need to hydrate and flush.
Yeah.
We need to
Especially
flush
you
those
with all the
toxins.
medications you take, man. That's an important
Yeah.
thing.
And
Okay.
hydrate.
So anything else on methylation?
No, I think that was it on that.
Okay, so Patti aside, what are some other pathways that are prominent in your studies?
They're all great, but I really love the energy pathway. So it looks at recovery, working out, what workout works best for your body. And I think, and I know I felt this way, and I talk to a lot of women that feel the same way, but we all want to work out not only for our health, but for our looks, right? And trying to get in shape,
mental health. Yeah.
Right. And trying to get in shape. So just knowing that you're doing the best workout for your body on all levels, I think is huge especially for women, because again, you hear about, I'm working out 6 days a week, I'm eating right. And it might be based on their genetics, it might be causing more inflammation, which in turn can cause your body to hold on to more weight and all sorts of other stuff, or inability to lose weight.
So and you have you pick the top 3 with respect to time, because we only have 45 minutes for the show, but there's even more intel on me in that report.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yes.
And
we're gonna go through. I like to start with the top 3 with everybody.
Okay.
Because it can be very overwhelming if you try to go through all 36 pathways and that. So I break it up into chunks, and then we work on that, and then we keep a record of just how are you doing? How are you, all the things that we want to, as far as your health goals.
Okay.
And then from there, once we kind of get that, then we go to the next 3 and we'll look at those. And what does that look like for you?
Okay.
And what does this mean?
Okay. So I'm going to mark this date, and let's just say, what do you think you can give me like a general idea, like, and if you can give me a summary of my action plan on camera, that would be great. And then we'll reconvene and we'll have a follow-up episode to this where I'd like to include Manny and his results, maybe in however long you think is sufficient.
Yeah. So for you, I would focus on anti-inflammatory diet, and I'm going to send you all of this stuff.
Okay.
I'm going to send you all the things. Sleep hygiene. So I would want to talk to you about sleep hygiene.
Okay.
Anti-inflammatory diet. I would supplement with a all-in-one vitamin and mineral
Which you'll suggest to me.
First thing in the morning. Okay. Electrolytes are going to be big for you because you are in the hot yoga most days, right?
Yep.
And so replenishing those electrolytes is going to be big first thing in the day for you, as well as vitamin D first thing in the morning.
Okay. It's so hard because I get here when it's still dark out.
Yeah.
So that's all right. Maybe when the 8:30 class goes in, I'll even walk around the block here. Or just sit outside. I do my morning, like my devotional, so I can make sure I do it outside. 20 minutes, they say. 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Yeah. And that's what I would start with. Just those simple things.
Okay, so a supplement, electrolytes, and what about, we had talked about, though, like with the
methylated, the B vitamins.
What was the second thing? I can't think of the word. Not the resting.
Oh, the oxidative stress. So your methylation cycle is going to affect that. So we need to supplement with that all-in-one vitamin and mineral. That's going to have a methylated B vitamin in it, as well as your selenium, your choline, your folate.
Great. So this multivitamin is really like a soup to nuts kind of thing.
And unless I test your specific levels, I would start with that.
Okay.
If you have a higher need, we'll know based on kind of your energy levels and things like that, unless we want to test to see what your exact need is. Because sometimes I do give an activated or a methylated B vitamin with the all-in-one, so it's a bigger dose because some people need it for a period of time.
Sure. Okay, so anti-inflammatory, sleep hygiene, and all-in-one vitamin.
And an omega.
And an omega-3.
Supplement.
Omega-3 supplement.
Yeah.
What about magnesium?
There is some of that in the all-in-one, but that would be a good idea to do in the evening. And I have a full spectrum.
I'll have the sunlight.
I have a full spectrum magnesium that I would do for you.
Okay.
But vitamin D I would as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Your body's ability to absorb vitamin D is...
So the vitamin D... Oh, I'm sorry to cut you off.
I was just saying your body's ability to absorb vitamin D is not working as well. So we want to make sure that... And vitamin D is important, regulates inflammation. I mean, hormones, thyroid.
Is vitamin D one of those vitamins you're supposed to take with something?
K2.
K2.
So,
and you say the K2.
Yeah.
You're going to give me one. You have one.
I don't give vitamin D without that. So
yeah, it's kind of like turmeric and charcoal.
Right.
They just go hand in hand. All right, and you're on board with how do you feel about the apple cider vinegar in with the lemon water in the morning, or should I do the lemon water
I just do lemon water.
Really? Yeah. Why not apple cider vinegar? Because people swear by that stuff.
I did it for a period of time. I don't really, I mean, to be honest, I haven't really looked into it as much.
Okay.
Lemon water's always worked for me. Okay. I mean, and it's been great for clients that have started it.
And take me through your process. Do you, it's supposed to be warm water.
Room temperature.
Room temperature, and you juice the lemon in the morning.
I do half a lemon.
As you're drinking it.
Yep. So first thing you wake up, I do 25 ounces, half a lemon, and that's the first thing I drink before I do any kind of caffeine.
Okay. All right. We didn't even get to the fact that I'm taking a probiotic. So,
okay.
Are you okay with me taking my probiotics still?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pro-Pre. It's one pill.
Okay.
I'll show you what I'm taking.
Yeah.
Tell us, please, we have less than a minute. Tell us where people can find you and about the podcast special that you're offering our listeners.
Yes. So you can find me on Instagram at Kimberly Flebbe. My website is kimberlyflebbe.com. You can access me there, or you can email me at wellness@kimberlyflebbe.com.
And your commercial is between the second and third segment of every episode. So there's that.
Yeah. And then the special I want to do for all the listeners is to have access to this genetic test plus a 60-minute consult via Zoom with me with recommendations and all of that. It's a 60-minute consult, and that's for $449.
Okay. Excellent.
So
okay, beautiful.
Yeah.
That's a steal. And it's priceless information.
Oh, my God. And once you do it once, you
it.
have the information. You don't have to do this ever again.
Okay, so it's like Ancestry.com. It doesn't change.
Your genetics don't change, right? So the only thing that does change is they keep adding different pathways and more information. So as they come out with new versions, we update the version, and there's added pathways. So that's the only thing that changes. But
all right, so I'm excited for my homework.
Yes.
And we're going to reconvene, I'm guessing, probably a couple months, maybe 2 months or so. We'll reconvene. And I want to thank you guys for watching, and hopefully you'll take advantage of Kim's genius of the 3x4 genetic testing, and of course the especially our listeners.
Yes.
So, guys, I'll say it again. You can see her commercial between episodes. Segment 3 and 4. We'll put all your information in our show notes. And I thank you for being here today.
This was so fun.
Yeah, it was great. And we're going to talk more because we have lots to go over.
Lot. Yeah.
Seems I have some work to do. Guys, we love you. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Like, follow, share, comment. And don't forget, keep coming back and we'll keep giving you the good stuff. So peace, love, and catch you next time on The Good Soul.